One of the best parts of this show is I get to bring in co-hosts that I have worked with in the past that I love to see again, and that's happening right now. Tanya Memme is a former Miss Canada, the host of 2 Emmy-nominated television shows, and a DIY expert and momtrepreneur. Tanya spent 13 seasons on A&E's Sell This House Extreme, and Move This House. She's also the host of Best Vacations, and you can see her currently on the Hallmark Channel's Home and Family. Plus, she'll be launching her own line of Tanya Memme crafts this spring. Like you're not busy enough, Tanya.
Huh?
I love
that.
Right?
Oh, that's a good track.
Yeah, you deserve it. Tanya Memme is here.
Tom, thanks. I'm here.
It's so great to see you.
It's nice to see you, too.
It's been too long.
It has been.
I want to make sure of something. I'm the only one that says your name right. Is that right?
It's so true. You
Tanya
are
Memme?
Yes, you are the only one. We're working on it on Home and Family right now. Mark Steinis cannot say my name properly. Christina
Isn't his name Mark Steinis?
It looks like it is, but we won't say that. It sounds better, Steinis, right?
Okay.
Yes.
So they say Tanya.
Steins.
Right? What do they say? What do people say?
They say Tanya Meme, but Mark doesn't say that. They say Tanya Memme.
Memme.
Which is totally, it's nice. It's a little more European, a little nice.
But it's not right.
It's kind of butchering the name. And, on camera, I'd like them to say it right.
And I'm doing that.
You have always said it right,
Really?
Tom. Yes.
Okay, well, let's go back to a while back.
Hey, wait, I got to flip back. Hold on, get the files in my mind. Okay,
wow, that is scary. I hope you got a close-up on that one. Okay, so we met because you and I both had shows on DirecTV.
We did.
Right?
The customer news for, I think, 7 years.
You did customer news, and I was doing Inside DirecTV, which you were doing before, I believe. And then I started doing it because they couldn't have you in every show.
Well, they could, but,
but they didn't.
I didn't have a problem with it. They did.
But you didn't know at the time. I was a huge fan because I had watched your episodes, and I thought
don't think
she's
you ever
really
told
good.
me that.
And then we were going to be paired together.
Yes.
To host a show together.
On customer news.
On customer news, and
so then that means you were going to have 2 shows, and I was going to have one. Is that how it was going to go down?
No, the show I was doing ended.
Oh, okay.
So they thought, let's pair these 2 together, and they called to schedule that. And I had booked, because I'm also an actor,
yes,
a guest star on Family Law as a recurring
You did.
character. And I said, you know what? It's a new production company, but can't you reschedule this? Because I want to do both. And they got mad at me, and they recast my role.
I know.
Typical Hollywood.
I remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
Extensively.
I cried,
and there
over
wasn't
the phone.
much I could do.
Well, you were just a pretty face.
But I'm just letting you know that had you had done that, I'm just a pretty haven't been told that ever. But the job, that Matt Gallant actually got.
You're promoting the guy who got my job now, okay?
Yeah, but he was on the show for about 4 years after that.
Okay, now she's making me feel great. 4 years, and I got 3 episodes on Family Law. Thanks, Tanya. Great to have you in. Okay, and we're done. The show is over now.
I'm only teasing you. But I have to say that if I were in your shoes, I would have done the same thing.
Thank you for that.
I really would have.
Thank you for that.
And
okay.
I know. I get it. It was a fun show, but I mean,
you got to take those.
Family Law is Family Law. It's a primetime show, so I would have done the same thing.
Tony Danza, Dixie Carter.
I worked with Tony Danza before.
He's fun and a little wacky.
A little wacky.
And he says hello to everybody.
He does.
What did you work with him on?
I did. Okay, this is really aging me, but I did an MCI commercial a long time ago. It was the very first commercial I ever booked. It's when we made, as actors, a lot of money on commercials. Yeah. It's all different now.
It has been a lot of years. You did age yourself
a lot of years.
there.
It was MCI.
And he was in it?
He was in it. I played his daughter. He was my dad.
Wow.
Yes.
I could see that, though. You all have the same coloring,
Kind of, yeah. He's Italian, I'm Italian. But I played his daughter, and it was at my wedding. And he was, it was just a really cute commercial. But I made a lot of money.
Yeah, how
on
much?
That commercial.
How much you make?
I probably made about $130,000 on it.
IRS, did you get that?
That was years ago. And I did get audited that year, so yeah.
You're sharing a lot. This is going to be a great interview.
But we just don't make money like that anymore, unfortunately.
No, those commercials aren't the same.
Days.
I know.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go further back then, right now, all right?
Okay,
you know where we're going?
No.
We're going to Canada.
Oh, right.
You're from Canada, right?
Oh, Canada, baby.
I don't hear it, eh? I don't hear any of it.
I've been living here for almost 20 years, so kind of,
Okay, what part of Canada are you from?
Ontario, Niagara Falls.
The Niagara Falls?
The Niagara Falls. Well, I'm actually from a small hometown called Waynfleet. It's a little farming town.
That sounds small.
It's tiny, and I'm very proud of Waynflete. I love where I came from.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I believe you had an accomplishment there. You were Miss Canada?
I was Miss World Canada.
Help me understand the difference there, or what that means.
We as Americans and Canadians, really, North Americans, really only see the Miss Universe pageant.
Right.
But the Europeans and in many other countries, the Miss World pageant is gigantic.
It's huge.
It's just they don't really air it here. But no, still, Miss World is probably the biggest pageant on the planet at this point.
And probably the solar system, I would assume.
The solar system.
Everybody's watching.
Yeah, it's a pretty big pageant.
Is it one of those talent things? You got to do a talent?
Yeah, you do.
Well, come
You have
on.
to do talent.
What was it?
Well, I danced and sang to Big Spender.
Okay, we have a microphone.
I did, yeah.
We can't really dance here with the camera. You could sing just 2 seconds just to show us that it's true.
All right. The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man.
I would join you, but I'd ruin it.
A real big spender.
Okay.
Good looking.
You want to get up and dance, don't you?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Tanya, that's pretty cool.
Well, it was good. I just, I got to rehearse.
And you won.
I came actually second in the talent competition,
don't give us details.
and I won the pageant.
Won the whole thing. Did you have a
Yeah.
bathing suit in the whole thing?
I did. We had to, yeah, because when you go to the Miss World pageant, it's pretty. I wouldn't say it's cutthroat, but it was tough competition. There's 86 women from all over the world.
Is it like people perceive where everybody hates each other in there?
No, I mean this is the thing. It's all categorized into languages. So I was with the 5 English-speaking women. So if you can't speak the language of most of the other women, you don't really have a lot of interaction with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the different thing about competing nationally as opposed to competing worldly. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you some stories. My dress was stolen. My
by a competitor.
Competition, yeah.
Come on.
I to this day I believe it was Miss Australia, but I don't know.
Way to throw her under the bus.
Oh well.
You want to give her name too and social security number?
I don't remember her name, but I really think she did it. But I don't have any proof.
I'm sure you're right.
The shoes were stolen as well.
Wow.
But it was a very expensive beaded gown, and I have to tell you, I probably had a million, women going, "Would you sell that to me? Would you sell that to me? I want this dress." And then it was stolen out of my room. I had $500 stolen out of my wallet.
Bitches.
I also had my talent competition stolen, dress stolen for my big spender number. So I had to borrow Miss USA's one of her outfits for my talent.
Isn't Miss USA the best?
She is the best.
So
Mary
sweet.
Beth Brown. I ended up being at her wedding party. She's amazing. I don't know what she's up to these days, but she ended up becoming a very, very good friend of mine. I haven't spoken to her in a long time, but at the time, we became really good friends.
Wow. Okay, so small farming town, Miss World Canada. I don't know how that even happens.
Neither did I.
And then you go from that into this world of Hollywood. How'd you make that move?
Well, okay, so I always, for some reason, I unfortunately or fortunately, I always wanted to be an actress, right? It's kind of bittersweet, isn't it?
We know the curse.
Isn't it,
yeah,
Tom?
it affects your life.
And so I was, of course, born in a small town. I thought, well, how am I going to make it in that type of world? So really at the time, the only thing I could ever get into were pageants, because it's not like we had American Idol then or the talent shows, nothing like that. We had Solid Gold. Okay, now I'm aging myself again, but that's
You were 8 when that was happening.
Right. I was 2. What are you talking about? And,
so that was your way out.
So that was my way out. Was the pageants. People just said, you'd be probably great in it. I went for the Miss Teen Niagara pageant. Well, I ended up getting into the American Musical Dramatic Academy, and that's how I ended up.
That's how you got here.
In New York. I started in New York, lived there for 10 years, booked the MCI commercial.
Yeah.
And then I got a show called Robotica on TLC. It was when the Robot Wars and all that were on. So that's what brought me to LA.
Let's jump ahead even more. Sell This House, right? Like 50,000 seasons of that.
Yeah, 13 seasons.
You did that for a while.
I did it for a while. It was an awesome show. We were nominated for Emmys. It was, it was tough love because I loved the show, but it was a lot of physical labor. And, a lot of people that were fans of the show wonder if I actually did the work, but I really
That's
did.
my question. Where does that come from?
Well, I come from a home building family.
Okay.
My father started a company with my uncle.
You were the son he never had?
30 years ago. Well, I have 2 brothers.
Oh,
so
you were the third son.
My older brother now owns the company. But it's called Mountain View Homes, and it's in Canada, and they build between 200 and 400 houses a year. So I grew up in the housing world.
You weren't faking it.
Was not faking it.
You can do it.
I can do it.
Name some tools.
Hammer.
Come on, that's no proof.
Reciprocal saw.
Oh, there
wood
now.
saw, jigsaw.
Now I believe you. No, I remember watching the show. It looks impressive.
Thank you.
But then you got to do some other fun stuff like Best Vacations.
That show is on KTLA. We just shoot like 1 or 2 episodes a year.
They fly you places that are beautiful and perfect.
Yes,
Tough
wonderful
job.
places. I mean, I'd love to do another high-end travel show. Let's just say that.
I did a show that wasn't necessarily high-end. The Travel Channel, Amazing Vacation Homes. I didn't go to beautiful resorts all the time.
But you
Sometimes I
went
went
to
to
beautiful
caves.
homes?
Not always.
Really?
Like weird places, too. Like
That's cool.
it was very cool, but it's not the nicest hotels in those areas.
That's
you know what
not
I'm saying?
cool. Yeah. Well,
No.
that's Sell This House. I understand that.
Yeah. Well, you know what else? When I look at your stuff, I notice something else that you enjoy that I like too. You have to be one of the goofiest people I have ever seen on camera at times, right?
thank
You
you.
love to go for the funny.
I love the funny. And the unfortunate thing is right now on Home and Family, I don't show that side to me at all. But yes, I am probably one of the goofiest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, I just went on an audition a couple days ago for TLC. And it was somebody over at the network that didn't want to audition me because they said I wasn't funny. Because they haven't seen me
Right.
do the funny.
Right, I
And I'm
understand.
like, no, I'm funny. I can be funny. I do the funny.
Funny, damn it.
Right.
Yeah.
But how do you like...
You need a better agent.
Well, actually, my agent got me in the door.
Well,
So
you have a great agent. I would love to have that agent myself.
I know. I'm working on that for you.
Okay, so thank you. So you mentioned Home and Family. You show products on there, is that right? I mean,
I do.
You do things that aren't the same as this show, but there is some crossover. I think.
Oh, yeah.
The
Well,
pitch.
there is.
Do you know what show you're on right now?
Yes. No, I thought we were still talking about Sell This House. We're talking.
You're on the pitch, which is products
I
that are
know.
pitched to people. Yeah. So tell us what you do on Home and Family.
Well, on Home and Family, I focus on kids stuff, kids crafts, kids toys, kids products, mommy stuff, crafts that we can do with our kids. Mainly focused on DIYs, and sometimes I can also bring some products that I've tested and tried, and if I'm really passionate about it, I can bring them on the show. And so I'm just a wealth of information, I guess, for new moms and what to do with your kids. I want to try and show people ways that you can kind of strengthen your relationship with your kids through crafting instead of in front of the computer.
And that's why you're a
So-
momtrepreneur,
It's
the
a
hardest word
momtrepreneur.
ever. Say it again.
Momtrepreneur.
You've said it many times now.
I have said it many times.
Wow. Because you're a mom.
Because I'm a mom.
Are you a mom?
And I am a mom.
Or are you just
yes.
acting like you're a mom on TV?
Oh, I'm a mom. Yes, I have a little one.
I know
who's
you do.
4.
4 years old. I got news for you. She's not always going to be 4 and loving you like you know everything. She's going to think you're an idiot at some point.
She did this morning. I'm already going through it. We had
Yeah?
a rough morning.
Then you got a great future in front of you.
Don't I? You're not the first to say that.
Yes, yes.
I'm nervous.
We have the same kid, just 10 years difference of ages.
That's right.
But is that part of why you got into this new area that you're into?
Yeah, I coming off of Sell This House,
Mm-hmm.
obviously I was more into the tools, building things and this and that, but I'm not a licensed contractor. So
I will not use you for my house then.
I wouldn't use me either. I'm good at little things, fix-it things, refurbishing things, but I can't do plumbing.
The big stuff.
Yeah. So I met Woody Fraser, who actually I went in on the show as a guest, and I did a craft on the show. They had me come in as the host of Sell This House, and this was like 3 years ago. And I guess it went over really well. And then a year later, he asked me to be a family member. So when I first started on the show, he was thinking of me as like the tool time girl kind of thing, tool belt, the whole thing. And I did
Miss
a
World
bunch of-
Canada.
right?
He
Why
saw that on the
not?
resume. Perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was doing stuff like that on the show. I mean, it was fun, but then when I started doing the crafts for kids, it's like it just it was just this organic,
took off.
amazing fit.
It's your life now.
And now it's become my life.
You're developing your own line.
I'm developing my own line, Tanya Memme Crafts. It's coming out this spring. So what it's going to be are I'm only doing kids crafts. Big, colorful, fun kids crafts, subscription based for the most part. But you can also get separate ones on the website when I launch it. And every month you'll get a new box in the mail. Even the box itself is going to be colorful and fun. So I want the kids to feel
Continuity program.
that's right. It's important.
Smart girl.
Yeah. And and because I'm on the show, it's such an amazing way to test the products and see how kids respond to them and see how, and shooting Sell This House and Sell This House Extreme and Move This House on A&E. I've traveled across America 10 times over. We've done over 350 episodes when you combine all the shows. And so I know what people can make and what they can't make, what kids can make, what they can't make. So they're going to be very, very fun and user-friendly. And also you'll end up with a really great product that you can give as a gift. Or you can keep it and just, keep it for yourself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Thanks.
Let's stay on the products for a second.
Yes, Tom.
Because here we're pitching products to people out there looking for new products to hopefully take to market. And I believe you have been in the DR, direct response infomercial world a bit. You've hosted some infomercials. Am I correct on that?
I've hosted quite a few infomercials.
Quite a few.
Quite a
More
few.
than two?
More than two.
Really? You want to drop a few names, or do you remember the ones you've done?
Well, I've done Auric. Auric is
That's a big one.
Yeah, big one. And I've done probably, I think, 4 products for them. They're a purifier, a couple of vacuum cleaners, 2 purifiers, air purifiers. And then, we've done some of the crazy ones. There was the thermo. It was a thermo something where you zap your zits.
Oh, nice. Thermo, it's got to be strong.
It's a thermo something. I mean, do you remember the names of all of your infomercials?
Of course I do.
Yeah, right.
So the infomercial world is a world you know. What do you think makes a good infomercial product? What makes you excited when you see, I want to host this one?
I think that when you find a need in the market and tapping into that need, whether it's something small or something big. And then it's just, the infomercial at the same time there is a science to it.
Yes,
there
is.
I mean, a big time science.
That's why I refer to myself as a scientist.
You are a scientist, Tom.
I am.
Yes, you are.
And,
You've had some pretty successful infomercials.
Yeah, so. But this isn't my time. But maybe we can talk about me for a while. No, let's not. I do want to share with you why I think you're underutilized in the infomercial space.
Thanks,
because
Tom.
I think as many as you've done, and I know you've done well, you should be doing many more. And I'll tell you why I'm a fan. Do you know why I'm a fan of your work?
You can tell me. I don't mind hearing it at all.
Okay. There are certain, you could take 2 different hosts who are both equally talented, and the way they speak in normal life can make a big difference in the way they come across on camera. And I noticed early on with you have a certain speech pattern. Maybe it's the Canadian roots or something. It's not about an accent. You just have a certain way that you talk that is so engaging and believable and trustworthy, but excited. You're one of those, because a lot of people get on, they try to be excited about a product.
Oh, you have to come across genuine and
sincere. And see, you talk that way normally. So I think it's not a huge stretch for you as long as you're being yourself, which you always are when you're on camera.
Yeah, I think that, if you're coming from a host's perspective and what makes an infomercial successful, is that's Yeah, I mean, because a lot of times when you're hosting an infomercial, you're reading a teleprompter. So you really have to have your prompter skills, I think, honed. And some people got it and some people just don't.
Yep.
And I think teleprompter skills, you can practice, but there is a little bit of you kind of got.
It comes to you easily.
It just comes to you easily.
Yeah.
Like in an infomercial, the thoughts are all cut up, so it's not like you can it's very hard to memorize infomercial scripts because nothing flows into the next thought, that.
Yep.
And it's very
except the ones I write.
Oh, okay. Well,
they're different.
Well, I haven't hosted an infomercial for you yet.
It's coming.
Tom.
It's coming. Boy, I walked into that one.
He sure did. And so I think it's just you have to believe in the product. Like a lot of the products that I have done infomercials for, I really, I like them, or I find something about them that I can relate to, and I love what I do. I love it.
It shows. That's why you're not a one-hit wonder. I mean, you've done a lot. But more importantly, I have something here that we need to do.
Uh-oh.
It's called...
Oh, no! Okay.
Tanya's questions. Get a close-up on that to show that this is only for Tanya Memme, right?
I'm nervous now.
Are you nervous? I told her I was going to ask tough
bit.
questions, and I haven't asked one yet.
You used the word grilling.
Grilling. I'm going to grill her.
You're going to grill me.
So here's what we're going to do. This is Seal. We're going to open this up because on previous episodes, I have interviewed people, and I'll ask them to pick a number for a question.
Okay.
Between 1 and 5, and they'll pick a number, and I'll ask the same question every time.
That's
I ask whatever I want. With you, I'm going to have you reach in.
My own
There's
question?
5 different pieces of paper in here. I want you to pick one out. And wait a minute. Are you going to definitely answer the question no matter what it is?
I mean, I can say I plead the fifth, but...
Okay, here it comes. Question...
The nicest celebrity that would surprise people. The nicest.
And if you can't think of anybody, we'll go on to the next one. Anybody you've worked with that you thought, everybody probably thinks they're not that nice, and they're so nice.
Okay.
I have one. Yeah.
Well, I know. I dated Alec Baldwin for a little while.
God, this is
You
a great
didn't know
show.
that, did
I had
you?
no idea. Do tell.
Well, I can't say. Okay, so we went out about 5 or 6 times. So I don't know if that's considered dating, but at the time I wasn't going out with anyone else.
Not real recently. I'm assuming.
No, this was a while back.
Not while he's married or anything.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
And actually, people always say to me, "What was he like? Is he, what the media kind of pegs him for?" And
Right.
I have to say, absolutely not. He was a wonderful, wonderful man. Absolutely wonderful.
Any reason it didn't work out?
There are reasons, but yeah. I mean, I actually wish it kind of did, but it did. Not now. I mean, I'm married now,
of
but at the
course.
time, I
Yeah.
was a little disappointed.
That
But
it
it
did
wasn't
go.
anything that I had done or he had done. It was a complete circumstance at the time, something very personal in his life
Okay.
that I promised I would never share.
No.
So
You can tell me
but
later.
that's why it didn't work out, and I completely understood the situation.
So
yeah.
Alex is a good guy.
He is. And then about a year later, he asked me out again, and I was in a relationship. So yeah. So I
one of
had
those
to,
things.
I had to say no.
Wow, you are a great guest.
Yeah.
Let's go to another one. What's funny is she answered right there one of the other questions.
I did?
Sort of.
Oh my gosh, okay, I'm nervous. My palms are sweating, you guys. Most embarrassing moment on set. Oh man. Oh my gosh, nothing's coming to me at this
mind.
moment.
It usually has to do with sound. We learn early on as actors, or mainly hosts, because we're wearing the lavalier mics, that you got to be
jive.
careful what you say when you think the mic is cut. And for me, I was hosting an infomercial where I was drinking a lot of water, and I left the outside pool area to go to the perfectly sound, unproofed bathroom that had great acoustics.
Oh, I've been through that.
And I had so much
Yes.
water in me, and I remember as I was taking care of what needed to be taken care of, saying out loud, did I cut my mic? I can't remember. Did I turn it off? And I walked out of this thing and everybody was just clapping. They said,
That's so
great
funny.
prostate, Tom.
Nice. No, that I've probably, with Sell This House, I lived in front of the camera for 13 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything. It came to the point where I didn't even shut my microphone off anymore. I'm like,
They knew
"Oh,
everything
well."
about you.
Yeah, so
All
at
right.
that point, it was hard to do anything that embarrassing, right?
Let's go to another one then.
Okay.
I'll save you
Oh
on
my
this one.
gosh. Okay, let me see. Biggest jerked you've ever worked with?
Is that how I wrote it?
That's how you wrote it.
I'm not sure what I was
Biggest
going
jerk I ever worked with?
for. Yeah.
I can't name names.
Come on, throw 'em under the bus.
I can't name names.
Who's the ass out there?
I can't name names.
Oh, God, she is
really
such a
can't.
weenie.
I can't.
All right, go to the last one. I got one more question.
I
in
will
there.
say this though.
Yeah.
It was a co-host on one of the shows I've done.
Now, I have co-hosted a show with you, so be very careful.
You're not it.
Oh, I'm glad
you
to hear
are
that.
so not it.
So we just have to go down your resume of all the co-hosts. Hopefully, it was probably the guy that replaced me, but I'm not going to
It
go.
wasn't Matt
No.
Gallant either. Now we're narrowing them down,
Yes,
aren't we?
we are. Okay, good to know.
No, Matt was cute. He was wonderful.
Last question. Enough about him.
Biggest celebrity you've dated? Well, should I
See, you
stick
kind of answered Alec Baldwin, unless there's been somebody bigger. Tom Cruise. I mean, come on. It's up to you if you want to answer this question.
You really don't know that? Oh, man.
You don't have to if you don't want to answer that.
No, I can't. I mean,
you kind of answered it.
Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, but it's up to you if you want to. Have you dated other celebrities, Tanya?
Tom, thing is, he knows the answer.
I
to this
did my
question.
prep work.
He knows the answer to this question, so he's looking. All right, I dated Michael Keaton for 3 years.
Wait a minute. The same Michael Keaton that right now,
Wait a minute.
Birdman, Michael
Yeah,
Keaton.
yes.
For how many
Birdman,
years?
3.
That's more than just dating.
Yeah, we dated. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's who I was dating before my husband.
And when you answer the question about who surprises us that is so nice, he wasn't the one. You said Alec Baldwin. So I assume he's next in line, or is he like maybe the other answer?
No, Michael is he's
very
really,
talented, man.
He is to this day one of the most talented and incredible actors that I have ever witnessed.
Yeah.
And he works
I've always
really
loved his
hard.
work. Yeah.
I know that he's up for a bunch of awards, the
Oh, yeah.
Oscar right now.
Are you hoping he wins?
Deserves it. I do hope he wins. Yeah. I mean, I do think that there's some tough competition.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he deserves it. I mean, he
You all are
deserves
on
it.
good terms.
Well, not really.
You all
No,
are on
it was a tough
not
breakup.
bad terms. You.
We're not talking to each
Oh,
other
okay.
anymore. But it's
You don't have any bad things to say about him, though.
well,
Maybe you do.
No, it's just, you know what? This is the thing. We, for the most part, we had a wonderful relationship. Michael, to
Can we
me,
get makeup? I
he's-
have there's
he's-
some sweat coming
No,
in. There's some sweat on the
because
brow there.
people ask me this question.
No, go ahead,
And
I'm
the thing
sorry.
is, I kept it so quiet while we were dating.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody, and I didn't post it on the internet or anything, because it was out of respect for him. And and I'm happy that we dated, and it was a as I said, a 3-year relationship. But
And he's like 30 years older than you or something.
he is, but I didn't care. I was very, very attracted to him.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tom. He's a complicated person, and
I'm
think,
sure.
and I think that's what makes him such an amazing actor. But I just felt like I couldn't get to his heart. I felt, and so I kind of wanted that, I guess, a little bit more from him. So it didn't end well.
How many big celebrities have you dated?
That's it.
2.
Those are the two. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry it didn't end well, but
no,
life goes on and
okay.
things are good. And
it was, it's my choice to end it, and
you have your 4-year-old daughter because you ended it, right?
I do. Yeah. Yes. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a family, and I wanted to have kids, and But I totally. Of course, I do. I hope to see him win. I think it's wonderful. I think he definitely deserves the Oscar if he wins it.
Well, I would assume he's going to mention you in his acceptance speech.
I'm sure. I'm sure he will, as I'm expecting it.
Yes.
But the funny thing is, I haven't even seen the movie. I haven't had.
You're bitter.
No, it's just I have. People are asking, "Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie?" Yeah. And it's like I have my life. I'm busy. I'm a mom. You know how that is. I'm like, no,
I've seen
I
the movie though.
It. I haven't seen it yet. I'll see it one day.
It's a good movie.
I'm sure it is. Yeah,
right.
I've heard he's amazing in it. So.
He's amazing.
Good,
well, thanks for
him.
sharing that. That was very interesting.
Yeah, that's all I'm sharing.
Okay, now for the hard questions. Here they come.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. No, the final thing I want to do.
Yes.
Because I truly believe that you and I would have so much fun and do a great show together.
I think we would too.
Right. So let's put together what would the show include that you and I would host together. And I'll start to give you an idea of where I'm going with this. I think it definitely needs to involve real people. Because, right, we both like interacting with real people and making them look good and having fun with them.
Yes.
What other aspects should this show that the Tom and Tanya show?
It should have some comedy in it.
Some comedy, of course.
We're
both
we
goofy.
Gotta put on the funny. Yeah.
We both love doing the funny. Okay.
I'm trying to bring the funny back into the stuff I do,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. I know that you probably like to make people cry, and I do too. So it's got to have some emotional stuff, right, where people are going to cry?
Yes.
Some of the real people?
Yes.
Or celebrities?
It would have to have a lot of emotion in it, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
emotion. So there's
got
to be stakes. The only way that you can make them cry is if there's stakes.
Right. Because I know you can pull it out of them. I've seen you do it, and I've interviewed 1 million people for testimonials, and they're always crying. So I know how to do it. What else? Give me something else.
It has to have a lot of passion.
Passion. Okay.
Like, for example, on Sell This House, right? The fact that you're tearing down someone's house that they've lived in for 40 years. I mean, they love their house.
Okay, I'll give you the secret weapon, and then we'll have our show. You ready for it?
Got it.
Got to have dogs. Specifically, my dog.
I'm fine with that. Fine with that.
Toby has to be in the show.
Then so does Ava.
Toby and Ava. So maybe we'll just have the Toby and Ava show.
All right, but we'll just let them host it.
I'm telling you, it would be so entertaining.
It would.
All right, so we've done everything we need to do. I asked the tough questions. We have our show put together that somebody out there is going to call us and buy us to make the show, right?
Yes.
And we learned all about Tanya Memme. It's great to have you come in. I appreciate you coming
in. Tom, I had a good time.
Did you have fun?
I did. I hope I wasn't too boring.
Boring is not a word I'd put with you. If you want to hire Tanya Memme, which everybody should be doing.
That's right.
Your URL is sitting right there, which it's brilliant. She used her name, TanyaMemme.com.
And if you can check out my YouTube channel if you want to check out the stuff I've done on Home and Family, which I have a blast on Home and Family, by the way.
And we will see you next time on The Pitch.